Hello, I'm State Representative Dennis Richardson, and I'm here to tell you about the House Republicans' Oregon Stability and Investment Plan, OSIP. There's 5 parts to OSIP. First, we need to keep corporate kicker money here in Oregon. There's about 34,000 corporations in Oregon, and it's expected that they will receive a total of about $275 million in refunds from the corporate kicker. If we were to retain only the corporate kicker from the top 900 corporations out of 34,000, it would retain for Oregon about $240 million, which can be used to help create a new, substantial, and true rainy day fund. The second part of OSIP is that we need to realign the corporate minimum taxes. Since 1931, the corporate minimum tax has been $10 a year. It's time for there to be a change after 75 years, and so we're proposing that there be a structured increase in the corporate minimum tax from a minimum of $25 for the small corporations all the way up to $50,000 for corporations that are generating more than $25 million of Oregon income a year. That will generate $153 million for Oregon. Number 3, we need to reduce the personal and corporate capital gains tax rates for Oregon. Capital gains taxation is a brutal weapon against retired seniors and the middle class. I mean, we work our whole lives, we save what we can, contribute to retirement plans, maybe invest a little bit in a mutual fund, but then when we go to sell it, we have to pay a 9% capital gains tax in Oregon. We want to lower that to 7%. And for corporations, lower it from their current 6.6% rate down to 5%. This will reduce revenues for Oregon by $214 million, but that money will stay in our economy and will be good for Oregonians. The fourth part of OSIP is that we need to protect small family farms and business owners from the forced death taxation which happens at death. In Oregon, we have an inheritance tax that begins at $1 million of assets. The federal government has an estate tax that has a threshold of $2 million. We propose that we lift the threshold of $1 million in Oregon up to the federal level of $2 million. It makes sense for Oregonians, and it'll cost about $43 million in revenues. The fifth part of OSIP is that we need to create a true rainy day fund. Now it's time for the governor and for the legislators who made promises to establish a rainy day fund to make good on those promises. We propose that only 1% of the proposed revenues for the next biennium, plus the money that we've already discussed that will be retained from the keeping the corporate kicker, that together will generate $366 million, which is pretty good seed money for this new rainy day fund. Between the Educational Stability Fund, which has about $451 million, and this new rainy day fund, we'll be able to reserve about $817 million of rainy day fund money, which can only be tapped when we go into our next recession, and we need it to help maintain education and services for the poor. So what we have for Oregon and our citizens as a part of OSIP is, 1, we're going to lower capital gains taxes. 2, we can lower the threat of death taxes for all Oregonians, and we can establish a true rainy day fund with a respectable $817 million of initial account balances to help prepare us for the next recession. We feel this is good planning for Oregon, and we hope that you'll appreciate and support the Oregon Stability and Investment Plan. Thank you.